What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin in the Chicagoland area. I'm also live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at The Jaime Dee Show. That's spelled TheJaimeDeeshow. For those who are tuning in right now, thank you so much for not turning your radio dials in your car. And for those who are on the streaming platforms, hey, I appreciate you. If you want to get your comments acknowledged, make sure to log into the YouTube using your Gmail account and comment live. I will actually see and read your comments out loud. As well, you're more than welcome to call in at 847-931-1410. Again, that's 847-931-1410 to get in on the conversations that we are currently having. Shout out to Kara out of Phoenix, Arizona. Shout out to Seven Cohen. I see you guys coming into the lives right now. It's an absolute pleasure. And shout out to everybody in Vegas and the Elgin/Chicagoland area for tuning in. Also, special shout out to Mark Hayes over at KSHP for producing the show. And shout out to Matt over at WRMN for producing the show as well. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are doing the darn thing. All right. So for today's show rundown, we're going to go over some daily news. And then we're going to have a conversation with Dr. J. Wallace, who is the owner and founder of Dream House Lounge out of New Orleans, Louisiana. So make sure you stick around today, okay? Because we have a lot of things to get into. And you know we get into it. All right. As stated by the Neighborhood Talk, a 5-year-old boy was left alone and cold inside his school bus after he fell asleep and the driver didn't wake him up. According to the messenger, Cameron Smith was supposed to return from school around 5 p.m. one day, but his mother, Shaniqua Byers-Smith, became worried when he never arrived. She called the school, Milwaukee Academy of Science, and the bus company, Go Right Way, to locate her son, but nobody had answers for her. By 6 p.m., Shaniqua called the police to report her son was missing and asked them to search the school bus parking lot. But shockingly, the police said they would need to search her house and gather more information first. So Shaniqua's mother, her husband, and her 2 brothers took matters into their own hands and went to the bus parking lot to find Cameron while Shaniqua waited at home with the police. At 7:45 p.m., her mother called her back and said they found Cameron inside the school bus honking the horn hysterically to get someone's attention. I want to actually pull up the picture of the family so that you guys are able to see it. So this is the family in question, and this is their kids that they actually have. And one of the kids is in the picture that was actually on the school bus. At 7:45 p.m., her mother called her back and said they found Cameron inside his school bus, like I said, honking the horn hysterically to get someone's attention. He had figured out how to turn the light on the inside of the bus on so that his family could find him. Cameron was physically okay, but obviously traumatized by the whole ordeal. Quote, he was very cold and tired, end quote, Byers-Smith said. Quote, he was finally relieved that someone knew where he was. It could have ended very differently had we not thought to go up there, she said, end quote. The bus company Go Right Way released a statement saying the bus driver did not follow proper safety protocol and has been fired. Shaniqua said she wants the driver to face more consequences for what they did, along with the bus company for not helping her find her son. Again, this was a 5-year-old boy. Just insane. Insane that this bus driver knew that the student was there, 5 years old, and decided to leave and let the student stay there. Yes, I completely agree with this family. This bus driver needs to face more consequences. And I personally believe that this family needs a payout or something. Money doesn't fix everything. I know that. Don't come dragging me, but I believe they need to get something. Not just an apology, but something. As reported by the Shade Room, by now you've probably seen this viral video of a man sharing his experience living in a storage unit. That man's name is Leland Desmond Brown Jr., and he's exclusively confirmed with the Shade Room that him and his girlfriend have been kicked out of the storage unit and are back living on the street. Leland, a 28-year-old man from Philadelphia, tells TSR that management at the storage unit found out that he was living there after his TikTok video went viral last week. Leland and his girlfriend have been renting this unit to store their belongings while living on the street, and storage management kicked them out for violating the terms of the facility's contract. According to Leland, management has given them until the end of the month to remove their belongings from the unit. Meanwhile, Leland says him and his girlfriend are back to living in a tent outside of the storage facility. On his TikTok account, not only does Leland share his living situation, he also speaks about spending time with his son. Many people have questioned the whereabouts of his child, and Leland exclusively tells TSR that his son does not live in the unit with them. Instead, the 7-year-old lives with his mother. As for how he ended up on the street in the first place, Leland says a family-related conflict happened, which caused him to be without a roof over his head. Once Leland's video started making its rounds online, he receives lots of backlash about his choice to share his living situation on TikTok. Take a look at the video that went viral on social media.
I live in a storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise. I can use the bathroom. I can play music anywhere in the unit. It's climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. This unit is 24 hours, so I can come here anytime I want, stay here as long as I need to. We can take naps if we need to and go to sleep. So this is our living space. Very, very grateful to have this space. The next goal is to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front. Or we'll just prepare something cold inside of the unit. Sandwiches, a lot of times we make salad. If we want to get power, we use our power bank. They also have power here so we can charge our power bank. Me and my baby will live here as long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here, now we can save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for the long haul. Thank you.
Insane. So why would you decide to put this on social media? I tell people all the time, everything is content, but everything does not need to be content. You hear me? Everything is content, but everything does not need to be content. Stop posting stuff online. Okay, first of all, this isn't anything new. I just really hate how social media regurgitates things that have always been happening and make it a trend and what's new and how everyone's doing it. No, people have been trying to live in storage units forever. This is not anything new. But again, I say this all the time, common sense is not common, and you just wish it was. But come on, dude, you should have known that the second you put this online, it would have went viral because, come on now, people like mess, people like drama, people like negativity, and people are going to see this as negative. And then this is going to get you kicked out, but you want it to be viral so bad. I just really dislike when people do the most to be viral. And this is going to actually go into the next story because per the neighborhood talk, a young mother is being criticized for moving her 3 young children to Houston in the middle of winter to become an influencer. I tell people this all the time. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and our school systems taught us that the South is always warm. They don't get snow. It's great. They lied to us. I've lived in 9 major cities so far, a few of them being Atlanta, Dallas, North Carolina, and I was bamboozled when I found out it snowed and it gets cold and sometimes can drop to single digits. Yes. Now, while it may sound promising to become an influencer, it's not an easy task, and the young mother of 3 is now homeless. According to KHOU 11 News, Kiara Jones moved her family from Tallahassee to Houston at the beginning of the new year to become a social media influencer. Quote, Houston has one of the biggest populations of social media influencers, Jones said. That's the kind of goal that I wanted, to become a big influencer, end quote. She had moved her and the kids into a motel but ran out of money. When temperatures plummeted and it was no longer safe to be on the streets, Jones called 911. Officers took her to a warming shelter, but unfortunately for Jones, that was the last night that the shelter will be open. Quote, I did not know that they were closing down tomorrow, Jones said. That was definitely a lot to hear, end quote. Caseworkers are trying to get their best to get Jones and her children back home. At the time, Houston officials said the roads are set to refreeze soon and it'll be too dangerous to travel. Social users argue that Jones's decision to move so abruptly with no plan was selfish. Take a listen to this news report.
It's somewhere safe and warm for the night until I'm able to figure out at least how to get home.
Kiara Jones came to Houston from Tallahassee at the start of the new year, chasing after a dream.
This is like one of the biggest populations of the social media influencers. That's kind of my goal to become a big influencer.
She'd been staying at a motel this month with her
3 little munchkins. I love them. They're so sweet.
But by Monday, she says she'd run out of money.
It just became too much for me after a while.
With temperatures dropping and no place to go, she says she called 911. Police brought her and her kids here.
Insane. I never want to knock anybody's drive or anybody's dreams, but just plan. It's not easy to be a social media influencer. It's not easy to be an actor. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. Social media makes people think that it's so easy to just quit your job and be an entrepreneur, be a business owner, be an actor on TV, be a radio personality, be a podcaster, be a blogger. It's not that easy, y'all. Please do your research. Please ask for help. Please plan and stop bringing y'all kids into this journey with y'all. Jeez. All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the amazing Dr. David J. Wallace on out of New Orleans, Louisiana, y'all. Hey, baby. Stick around, y'all. This is the Jaime Dee Show live on KSHP out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN out of the Elgin and the Chicagoland area. I'll be right back.
Ever take your car through the auto emissions lane only to experience the sinking feeling that your car has failed the test? Don't fret. Let Meineke at 376 Sundown in South Elgin fix the problem for you. Meineke's mechanics will determine the exact problem with your vehicle and suggest necessary repairs with Meineke's diagnostic service. Pass that test with help from the trained Meineke technicians. Call today for your appointment. 847-888-9644. That's 847-888-9644.
For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on The First Shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
Yeah.
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's The First Shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin and the Chicagoland area. We're also live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at The Jaime Dee Show, a real live radio show. Hey, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on the YouTube right now. And if you want your comments acknowledged, log in using your Gmail account. I will see your comments and I will read them out loud. All right, y'all, I'm super excited because we had this, when I tell you, outstanding individual, such a person who is about warmth, positivity, bringing a community together, actually being for his people, and really being a safe space for those who may not feel like they're seen, heard, and believed. This man is such a beautiful soul. And I had him on live on my radio show as my first ever live remote ever. When I first started radio, he was the first person I had live on my show, and live, not live on my show, but live from a remote location. And it was in New Orleans, Louisiana, during Essence Fest, a time that there's just so much Black excellence, so much going on in the city, and just so many places to be all at the same time. When I tell you, this man is awesome. He's a part of the KSHP, WRMN, the Jaime Dee Show family. And he is just somebody who out there is still doing a darn thing. Let me introduce y'all to Dr. David J. Wallace. Again, that's Dr. David J. Wallace. He is the owner and founder of Dream House Lounge, and he's about to join me live to discuss the road to the 30th anniversary of Essence Festival of Culture, how businesses like his prepare for the citywide festival, his feature on Essence.com, how his business has grown as the first wellness lounge in New Orleans, Louisiana, dry January, and more. So without further ado, let's welcome in Dr. David J. Wallace. How are you, sir?
Amazing. I am amazing. It's so good to be in your community with you again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you back live on the Jaime Dee Show. Absolutely amazing. Hey, how is New Orleans right now? How's the weather? Because it's cold up here in Chicago.
Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's a little brutal. We've had a few freeze days or nights, and if you're in the South and you're like me with a lot of house plants outside, it can get a little tricky. And so some of my plant babies are not doing so well because y'all sent that freezing weather down here.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, Dr. David J. Wallace. You're a plant daddy out there in New Orleans, Louisiana. And like I said, people out here think that it's warm down there, and it's not. It's not. Y'all out there struggling
No,
just
and
like
I
we
lived
are.
in New York, and so I like moved here to escape the cold, and so I feel like the cold is following me.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, I know that all too well. I felt so lied to when I moved to the South. But yes, let's talk about that because in the next 6 months, I mean, everyone from around the world will be traveling down to New Orleans, Louisiana for the 30th anniversary of Essence Festival of Culture. And let's talk about that. We have 6 months until July, and it's going to be happening July 4th that week. And it's going to be a lot of things happening in Essence Fest during Essence Fest. And I want to talk about how do we prepare for such a big festival as people coming to visit New Orleans, Louisiana, even if it's for the first time.
Yeah, I think that number one, you should just be prepared to like experience the divine love, being around all the Black excellence. It is a energy in the air that is unmatched. Every time I get to experience Essence, I always feel this camaraderie, this deep and profound love for the Black identity and the Black experience. And so my recommendation is to just like get yourselves get yourselves ready for that. And I think that the other thing I would say is to hydrate. It is very, very, very hot in New
What I
Orleans during
mean,
the month
hot.
of July. Like unbearable hot. And the thing about New Orleans is our ecosystem, it gives like swamp energy. And so like you walk outside and you instantly become like sticky and a little wet. And so, you know, you're gonna see people dressed to the nine, but you're also gonna see a lot of people with their fans, a lot of people sweating. If you are a person that has like some type of unique hair texture, let's say you straighten your hair, like be prepared for the frizz because it's bound to happen. So just, you know, understand that you are obviously going to bring your Sunday's best or be dressed to impress, but know that you are going to sweat that energy out. But also know that you're not going to be the only person sweating. Everybody's sweating. So it's just like, you know, we all hot. We all looking good, but we all hot.
Listen, when I tell you I am never prepared. So going to Essence Fest is literally a tradition for me and my manager and my friends who I go down there with. And when I tell you, I always think, okay, I'm gonna get these outfits together. I'm gonna go down there. It's gonna be great. You just can't prepare for it. I'm sorry. You can't prepare for that humidity.
No,
you just can't.
the
It really
humidity.
feels like you're walking through 100-degree weather filled with water outside.
Mhm.
I remember setting up for
And
my
you know,
live
with
remote.
a lot of us concentrated in a certain area, like that also magnifies the heat. And so
Yes.
depending on where you are, like the day parties can be a little bit more like unbearable because every party is packed out and
Yep.
it's hot outside. And our air conditioners are doing the best they can to keep it cool, but it's just sometimes it can't compete.
I'm gonna tell you this. When I was getting ready for the live remote at your business, I was like, can y'all please turn up the AC? It was so hot, but y'all got some good AC. I'm gonna give it to you. Y'all's is working.
Yeah.
I was over that drenched when I first walked into your building.
I'm gonna tell you, listen, my anxiety was on level 10 that entire week. The worst thing that can happen for a business owner is for their air conditioning to go out during the summer. And then I think the double worst thing that can happen is for it to go out during Essence weekend. And my first year that we were open, we opened in July. So the 30th anniversary of Essence is also the 2-year anniversary of Dream House. But we opened in July, and by August, the air had clunked out. And we had a few events lined up, and I was devastated because commercial ACs to fix them are expensive. And yeah, that still is like it's a memory that like lives in the back of your head. It's like a trauma that you never really get over. And so I'm sure my energy will be like a little stagnant this upcoming Essence. But I'm doing the thing that I know to do right now by getting the AC service to make sure that everything is ready to go, so that when it heats up outside, the system is able to handle the additional influx of energy that will be entering the space.
See, I'm really excited about that because I know that there's going to be so many events all around the city. There's going to be some that are put on by Essence Fest itself, a lot that are put on by the local businesses like yours, the Dream House Lounge out of New Orleans, Louisiana. So there's going to be so much going on. And, you know, I rebuke your AC not working or anything happening to you.
Same.
But I want to talk about this because one thing you said is that there's going to be day parties, there's going to be events, there's going to be things happening during Essence Fest weekend. And give us some examples of things that are actually happening in the city during Essence Fest weekend.
Yeah. Whew, last year we had 16 events over the course of 7 days, which was amazing. I felt so grateful and so much love, not only from the local New Orleans community, but the nation at large. One of our biggest events, Topicals Skincare, booked us out for this beautiful day party experience as well as panel discussion. We had so many, like everybody, the who's, like, and even if you're not a who's who, I mean, everybody's a who's who, but everybody was like trying to produce an event during that week. And so I imagine that Dream House will be booked up just as we were last year because of the proximity to the convention center, because of the decor in our space. And so I look forward to welcoming all the energies that are going to book our space out. You know, we are a wellness lounge first. And so while we love the private events and we welcome those, we are also about putting on healing experiences for people. And so last year, we partnered with Global Warming as well as NOLA Black Mental Health Matters to produce an event that focused on our local artists in the community and their healing and their mental health, while also knowing that there's a lot of people who come to New Orleans. And if you're living here in New Orleans, like you are working 12, 15-hour days. If you're an artist, you're performing set after set. And so what we wanted to do was, before things got like real rowdy, we wanted to bring the local artist community together to talk about their mental health and well-being and provide them with some resources and tools that they can sustain themselves throughout the Essence weekend. And so we intend to do that again, creating this healing spaces for our artists, but we'll also be expanding our offerings, including things like meditation and yoga and breath work, as well as people can book readings with me. And so if you're coming into town and you need to tap into your spiritual lands, want to tap into your ancestors, we're offering ways to book readings, not only with me, but also our other healers that are on the ground at Dream House.
I love that. And so, as you know, David, we're live in Las Vegas and live in the Elgin/Chicagoland area, but we're also live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm over here typing messages right now. I'm on my phone also typing messages. People are actually asking questions for you, and they're making great comments. Tracy, the Way Up CEO Holloway says, it was such a memorable experience. We love working with you, David, in the Dream House Lounge last year. People are saying you're doing a great job. We look good. There's a lot of things going on in this chat, and I'm sure we're going to have callers calling in. I want to remind everybody that you're more than welcome to call in to ask David questions at 847-931-1410. Again, that's 847-931-1410. And continue to comment live on the social media platforms. I got my phone in hand. I got my laptop on. I will acknowledge and see.
You rolling.
I'm rolling. Y'all, listen, I got a master's degree in broadcast journalism for no reason. I gets it done, okay? And you say it in action. And one thing I want to get into before we go into the break is, you said that everyone's somebody, everyone's a public figure, everyone's a brand, everyone's doing something, everyone's coming down being the who's who in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And one thing I know about Essence Fest that I feel like a lot of people don't know is that the actual conference in the convention center itself is free. Going to the event in the conference is free. Now, the concert also actually costs money, and there may be events that are like day parties and private events that may cost money, but there are a lot of things that are popping, including celebrities, and that are being sponsored on and off of the Essence Festival grounds that are still free. And now you do host some events at your business that are free as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So right now at our wellness studio, we actually have a donation-based wellness lane. So it's sort of like pay what you can afford. What we realize is that, particularly in wellness, there's a lot of privilege and gatekeeping and limited access. We think about our Black and brown people. And so I developed a model of the donation-based wellness classes because I want you to be able to access guided meditation or ancestral healing or yoga and breath work. And you may not, or you may have the funds to pay for it, but we always think about inclusion and providing access. And I think one of the beautiful things that Essence does is the event at the convention center is free and you could go all day. I think it's like 3 or 4 days that they're like stationed there. You could go and experience the plethora of healing talks. And I'm also really excited to see what I continue to do for the Black men in particular. There was a increased presence last year on Black men mental health, and we've been doing some things at Dream House, like Black Men Breathe. I have this one program called Breathe Like a Man, where I'm inviting our men in to do intentional breath work and guided meditation in a collective and safe space. And also last week with Darren Lindsay, we hosted a for Black men meditation and mental health conversation where we brought the people in to focus on the challenges that are uniquely our challenges as Black men in America.
I love that. And so one of the biggest things that I love about Black women, let's talk about them real quick, is that they are
Shout out to them.
Shout out to they are the most.
I need my bell.
But yes, Black women are the most inclusive that we have in our world. I don't care what anybody says. I know we're live in many different communities. And I love all my communities. I love all the different graphics, love all the ethnicities. But we're talking about Black women right now. And Black women are the most inclusive that we've ever had on our planet. And Essence Fest actually started off as a festival for Black women to be about Black women in the community, whether that's through fashion, beauty, health and wealth, career, and more. But they've opened it up to everybody. Whether you are a man, whether you are in the LGBTQIA plus community, whether you are of a different ethnicity, it's open to everybody. And even though it's a very Black-centered festival, I see all ethnicities there. I see all demographics in general there, and people from different backgrounds. And what I appreciate the most is that, like you said, there's been an increase of a space for everybody. And I love that. There really has been a space for everybody on and off the convention grounds during Essence Fest weekend. Now, we're going to take a quick break. But before we go on break, I want you to actually talk about some of the you've even had at Dream House Lounge during Essence Fest weekend.
Oh, yeah. You said some of the events?
Some of the celebrities you've had.
Oh, well, you would be number one.
Hey!
You would be number one. Honestly, it was so many energies walking through Dream House last summer. I'm drawing a blank right now, but I'll be able to name them after the break. And I know these people.
Well, I got you. I know you had one of the biggest one of them.
Yeah.
Outside of Frida, you had her sizzle. You had a sizzle come through with one of your events. That was lit.
You had Nathaniel on, which was amazing to see and hear him in the building. Oh gosh, who else? It was.
I brought in Subtweet. You know, Subtweet is a huge emerging artist out of New Orleans, Louisiana. So that was cool to bring in. I brought that celebrity into the Dream House Lounge. You know, I did that.
You absolutely did. You absolutely did. There were few other local energies like Denicia came through, and she has come through like repeatedly after that. Shout out to Denicia. My guys that sing my Blicky, I'm drawing a blank right now. They came through and got some oxygen. So there was a lot of energies that came through, and after that, I can't remember everybody.
You're all good. I put you on the spot. But okay, you got time to figure it out. But we're gonna take a quick break, and you can figure it all out during the break. All right, y'all. This has been the Jaime Dee Show, and it's gonna continue to be the Jaime Dee Show, live with Dr. David J. Wallace out of New Orleans, Louisiana. But we're also live in Las Vegas, Nevada, on KSHP, and live on WRMN out of the Elgin and the Chicagoland area. Stick around. We're gonna have more interviews with Dr. David J. Wallace.
Family owned for over 40 years with 3 locations around the Elgin area, Beef Villa is open and ready to serve you. Stop in or drive through and get your lunch or dinner hot and fast. Enjoy burgers, dogs, chicken, and of course beef is waiting for you at either Elgin locations or South Elgin location of Beef Villa. Stop in for the Friday fish special, Villa Burger, pulled pork, or the incredible salads available from Beef Villa. Need help feeding a large group? Catering is always easy with Beef Villa. Go to beefvilla.com for catering options. That's beefvilla.com. Discover the charms of life along the Mother Road, historic Route 66 at the Hampton Inn of Litchfield, Illinois. The Hampton is off of Route 55, just 56 miles northeast of St. Louis. Dine in at Nancy's Pizza next door or the historic Ariston restaurant on Old 66. Cruise into a drive-in movie. And for fishing, boating, and hiking, Lake Louieacre is the centerpiece of Litchfield's bustling outdoor culture. For reservations, call 217-324-4441.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin in the Chicagoland area. We're also live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at The Jaime Dee Show. And we're live right now on Instagram at It's Jaime Dee. Hey, I'm super excited to have you guys calling in, having you guys listening in, and more. Remember, continue to call in at 847-931-1410. Again, that's 847-931-1410. And continue to comment live on the streaming platforms. I will acknowledge your comments. I got you. But we've had them waiting for a little bit, and I want to bring them on because we have a caller right now, I believe out of Las Vegas, Nevada, who actually wants to ask you a question, David. So let's bring them on in. And also, let's welcome back Dr. David J. Wallace.
Hello?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hi, JC. Hi, Dr. Wallace. How are you doing?
Yeah, we got you.
Good. How's it going?
I'm a course of a comedian out of Las Vegas. And I'm very curious. I'm somebody who believes in toxically healing others. As a dominatrix, what I like to do is heal with one nut punch at a time. Do you have room in your festival for me to teach dominatrixing? Because I believe we can heal the world with a fist, just like the Bible suggests. What do you think?
Great question.
That's a great question. We are currently building out our Essence Festival calendar. And so if you would like to connect with us, I would recommend visit our website at www.dhlounge.com. And there's a booking tab. You can actually fill out the booking form and add the context, obviously include if you're interested in partnering up to teach at Dreamhouse. And then we'll hop on the phone, fill out the energy. For me, everything is about energy. And so I don't make a decision without going through the energy of flow with that person. And so would love to speak with you more, learn a little bit more about your vision, and see if it falls within the wellness experience at Dreamhouse that we promise to offer our community. And yeah, would love to learn more about your style and your flow of healing.
Period.
I'm mostly into correcting conquerors so that they will love us for the ancestors, of course.
Yeah.
I support it.
Thank
you so much for calling in. Listen, I'm all about shooting your shot live on the Jaime Dee Show. You never know what connections you could have. And to be very honest, like I said, Essence Fest literally has a space for everybody. So, of course, as a comedian, you never know how you can literally have, and I'm not even like being a goof, like I'm being so serious. You never know how you could talk to the right person and they will create a space. When I tell you, health and wealth is a really big thing, and there's some things that people. You know what? Let's actually be very open and honest too. They do talk about sex and sex culture at Essence Fest and what that looks like within the health and wellness space. And so you never know. But I appreciate you so much.
With consent, yeah. There's none of that. I don't. Yeah, I'm mostly correct with consent, and yeah, spare the rod, spoil the child, and all that. Thank you guys so much.
We had an experience at Dream a while ago where it was a group of films that talked about dominatrix and the idea of like consensual sex and how important that is. And so when we think about health and wellness, it expands beyond like our traditional surface level flow of wellness. You have to think about the wellness in totality, and we are energetic beings. And when I think about like the different chakras, like that sacred chakra is where that sex energy lives. And so it is also important that we create space to talk about that energy flow as well.
Period.
Yes, I believe in chakras. I love making them wear collars, putting them on all fours with full consent, of course. So I'm all about the shopping.
I love it. I love it.
Many
Yes.
streams lead to a river, and many rivers lead to the ocean. So your flow is your flow, baby.
Yes.
You gentlemen have a great day, and I will be in contact. Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Holler at Corseted Comedian.
Period. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Course of the Comedian. You have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you for calling in. I love this. I love when we have very awesome callers calling in and being truly true to themselves and who they are. And you know what's really funny? I'm gonna call you out, Dr. David J. Wallace. Because at first I was gonna be like, okay, PR, okay, what a great response. Love this. I was gonna be like, okay. We love a very posh black man who knows how to respond to any situation. Because let me tell you something.
Oh, baby.
We're gonna be honest. You're gonna be honest on this live radio show. Your face says something totally different than your words, but you did.
No, I was processing real time. I mean, the reality is, I constantly ask myself, like, why do I believe what I believe? And so the face that I made was actually me asking myself, like, where does this fit within like the wellness world? And am I operating from limiting beliefs or false boundaries about dominatrix and its connection to wellness? And so my initial reaction was more so of an internal processing, because I was like, oh, wow, that's like, I wasn't expecting the question. And I also understand that I'm always going to be ready for a response.
Listen, when I say you like a deer in headlights, you're like, and again, this is a live radio show. This is not a podcast. I do not plan these questions. I do not plan these callers, and it is what it is. But in real life, I really do believe that the best part about Essence Fest, is that there literally is a space for everyone. There's so many things happening in New Orleans. You would never guess. You would never guess that there's all these different things to do. And I actually want to talk about that, because with there being so much to do, so much traffic, extreme heat, extreme humidity. You said what?
No, I was saying the traffic. Oh my God.
Oh, the traffic is ghetto. Because even trying to get an Uber, OMG, me and my manager were arguing often about these dang Ubers. But I want to talk about this, because how do businesses like yours prepare for the citywide festival?
Whew, so great question. Last year was actually our first like true immersed Essence experience. So the previous year, in 2022, we had opened. So we opened on July 3rd, which was like the last day, that Sunday of Essence Fest. And because at that time we were focused solely on our oxygen bar and non-alcoholic cocktails, we hadn't rolled out the wellness identity and the spirituality and the mental health work yet. That first year was solely pitched as like a recovery stop. So it was like, hey, surprise, we have a rest and recovery business. Come hang out with us. And so last year was actually our first go round with Essence Fest. And so I chatted with other business owners in the city, namely Jessica, who owns Justini's now, to say like, well, how do you actually get prepared for something like this? And she was just like, well, baby, first of all, the people going to love Dreamhouse and they're going to book Dreamhouse out. Like I said, we had 16 events for 7 days. And so we were churning out events back to back. My staff is so incredible. We were putting in some long days, but I also let them know that it was important for us to not only show off the Dreamhouse brand and identity, but also their own individual brand and identities. And so I encourage people to make connections as the energies were rolling in. This is an opportunity for us to like put our best foot forward. I think for this year, as we get prepared, I want to be even more intentional about the wellness offerings that we will offer. And so I am already planning some activations around like our yoga, our breath work, our big program now, Soul Work Sunday, which what we do every Sunday, where it's a spiritual learning community, people coming together to talk about topics related to personal development. Yesterday, we talked about healing your inner child. It was dynamic. I am planning to roll that energy out in a larger way during Essence Festival, and also trust that the companies and organizations that are booking their receptions and having their panel discussions off-site from the convention center will also rent us out as well. So we are mentally prepared. Like I said, I'm getting the AC checked and tuned up to make sure that that's not a barrier for us. But we are going to be excited to welcome the many energies that will cross the threshold. And I will say it will be Dreamhouse's second anniversary. And I think that that's just a testament to not only the energy of the space, but also a testament to more and more people are waking up to the thought and idea of wellness and what does it mean to be well.
That's beautiful. And I want to attest to this because Jessica said that people are going to love Dreamhouse Lounge. I love it. I saw that the community loved it. And I also want to thank you so much for including me in those 16 different events that you had after you started canceling all the other ones and telling people we're too booked and busy. But you made space for me, Jaime Dee, and Jaime Dee. I think you need that bell ring. Have to.
Yes,
And
yes, yes. I move off of energy. It's all about energy. So if my spirit tells me to do it, I'm going to do it.
Oh, so you think I have good energy? What you laughing at? Not too stunned to speak.
Of course.
That felt so ungenuine. Wow.
No, it's not. I'm here on the show, and I would have not done this show if I did not think your energy.
I think my manager's tuning in. I'm going to ask her how she felt about that answer. Anyway, let's get into Jessica. Because Jessica made a statement about how people are going to love Dreamhouse Lounge, and it really is doing the darn thing. You guys are the first wellness lounge in New Orleans, Louisiana in general. And because of that, and because of all the amazing work that you're doing and the business is doing, you guys have been featured in so many different magazines, most recently being Essence.com. And I want to talk about that. You're literally in a article on their website, and you have just been featured, I believe, yesterday or the day before yesterday, on their main Instagram page. How did you get sought out for that? And how did it feel to be featured by Essence.com?
Yeah, so I would say that the non-alcoholic movement is under the wellness umbrella, and more and more people are waking up to the idea or the energy behind their relationship with alcohol and relationship with drugs, like recreational drugs. And so I applaud Essence for not only showing our community, particularly our Black community, that there are other means to socializing that doesn't necessarily involve alcohol. Like, you drink, that's your business, no judgment over here. But I do think that it's important for us to always be thinking about our relationship with alcohol, particularly because of the many health disparities that exist within the Black community. And then when you zoom in and look at Louisiana and zoom further and look at the area between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, known as Cancer Alley, it becomes abundantly clear that the things that we are digesting and putting in our body is causing harm in addition to the environment. And so I thought deeply about what would it mean to create a space that unlocks another path or show people a different way. And many are come into our space and say like, oh my God, your non-alcoholic beverages taste amazing. They're healthy for you. And some of them are strong enough where it tastes like an alcoholic punch. And so I think that it's important that as we continue to grow with each other, and I think about liberation, I think about unity consciousness, I also think about like, what are the concrete ways that we can create pathways to promote that unity? What are the concrete ways that we can create pathways to promote that liberation? And so Dreamhouse stands as a beacon of liberation. Dreamhouse also stands as a safe haven for people. So when you come in there, regardless of the stress that's going on in the world, if just for a moment, if just for an hour, you can like lay your stress to rest and just exist in a space that is cultivated on love, I think that's important. I think for me, I think I'm living out my purpose, and my purpose is to create those healing spaces for people.
And I've actually experienced your oxygen bar. I've experienced your non-alcoholic beverages, and I can attest that you are literally doing exactly everything that you're speaking right now. And I love that. I love that you are Dr. David J. Stand on Business Wallace. I love it. I love it. And you deserve all of the many features you've got. I mean, you were featured by United Airlines, featured by Essence, and there was one more that I believe you're featured by as well. Can you let me know which one that was?
New York Times last year during Dry January. We were highlighted as I share our Lavender Dreams cocktail as well. It's so beautiful to see the energy behind the Lavender Dreams and how it has become not only our top seller, but the most mentioned beverage as you think about Dream House. And I actually created that drink when I was battling a depression. And so it's beautiful to see that even in the darkness, like light can illuminate an entire space. And I think that Lavender Dreams serve as not only that light for Dream House, but serves as a light for a journey in business and entrepreneurship and navigating the terrains of being a business owner in New Orleans.
And one thing that you just said that I really truly agree with is that you never know what space you're in and how that can build you later in the future. Because sometimes you think that when you're in a dark space, you're never going to get out, or that it's nothing's going to come from it. And like you just said, and unfortunately, I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but it processed something beautiful, which is that lavender drink that has been featured in many different magazines. I mean, no big deal. New York Times, United Airlines. I mean, when did United Airlines even have a magazine? I mean, like that's cool. I was like, United Airlines, they're featuring people. I mean, okay.
Yeah, so they actually have a Hemispheres magazine. It's like their own line of magazine. And so last January, Dream House was featured in every United Airlines flight, which was like I still can't make sense of it. Someone told me the other day, when you like come back down to like the ground and stop levitating, you'll be able to actually realize what you've done. And sometimes I'm just like, I can't believe that this is happening. So yesterday we literally were wrapping up Soul Sunday. We did some inner healing, and I pick up my phone and I see that Essence has posted my face on their Instagram with their 3.3 million followers. And I was just like, oh my God. So I'm grateful. I think my journey in this world is to continue to be the embodiment of love, and everything that I do since love. And like that Lavender Dreams is an act of love. I think about my grandmother when it's ancestral. My grandmother loved lavender. And so I made that drink in honor of her because she loved lavender. And just to see how her energy is taking that drink to publications, and many bars have reached out around the country for the ingredients. And at first I was gatekeeping it because I was like, y'all not going to take my cocktail. But I think it's beautiful to share. And so if you have the opportunity to make the Lavender Dreams at home, let us know what it does to your mind, body, and spirit. But it must be made with the secret ingredient, and that is love.
Wait, hold on. Before we actually go on to the next question, we only got a few minutes left, but this is important. What are the ingredients outside of love?
Yes. So we use a non-alcoholic zero-proof mezcal from the company Cut Above. So shout out to Andrew. I also have a personal relationship with all of the beverages that we serve, the CEOs and owners. So Cut Above, we use their spirits. So we use 1 ounce of zero-proof mezcal. The sorrel is something that we make fresh in-house. So some people say sorrel. But there's another beautiful Black-owned company called Brooklyn Brewed Sorrel out of Brooklyn, New York. They have a beautiful sorrel that's bottled up. You use that if you don't know how to make your own sorrel. We use that. We use a half an ounce of lavender syrup. I also make that fresh. So you can make your own lavender simple syrup at home. You put that in a glass, shake it up, strain it over some ice, and then top it off with Avec, pomegranate, and hibiscus. If you notice, something beautiful about that drink is that they're all Black and brown owned businesses. So Avec is a Black owned business. Cut Above is a brown owned business. I'm obviously a Black owned business. And so there's something beautiful about the Lavender Dreams. It's the intentionality. It's the Black liberation behind the story of the Lavender Dreams. And it's no surprise that it's our #1 seller. Even though it was born in the darkness, it is truly the light of Dream House.
Let me just say this. First of all, even though you may be sharing the ingredients with people, a lot of this sounds like you still put your own personal touch on it. So it could be duplicated, but never actually made original, because it's made with your actual love and your actual ingredients, because it came through you. And I love that. And people are saying on social media right now, I've had it. It was so smooth and so tasty. Shout out to Gardner M. Torrance Sr. He says, "What's up, nephew? I see you." We got Terrell. We got Kara. Yes, we got people. The chat is lit right now. I'm telling you, I'm multitasking. I don't know if you see his hands moving. I'm multitasking. I told you I was going to acknowledge y'all. Now we got Samantha Wallace in too. Shout out.
Yes, that's my mama. You met her.
I love mama. Hey, mama.
Queen.
Hey. I'm just saying, even though you can give me a genuine answer, mama loves my energy. She loves me. So I don't care what you think.
Oh, really? Not you being divisive on the radio show.
You were divisive with your answer about not liking my energy, sir. Real quiet. Real quiet.
Oh my gosh.
We got Auntie Lisa here too. Shout out to Auntie Lisa. Listen,
yes,
we got
I told all the family, I was like, listen, I'm going on the radio show. We got to represent. My last name is Wallace. I also have to give a huge shout out to the Torrance bloodline, the lineage. Even though I share my dad's last name, all of my family that is watching, their last name are Torrances. So shout out to the Kendricks and the Torrances.
Hey, shout out to the fam. I love y'all. Look, I'm gonna love y'all because I know y'all love me, even though he being kind of mean to me on my live radio show. But we got 1 minute left, and I want to get into this because I've never heard about this. Dry January. What is that? I mean, is this something new? I've literally never heard of that.
No. So we have Dry January, we have Dry July, we have Sober October, and those are just moments of reset and reflection, taking a moment away from the vices that you normally engage in. And so at the surface level, it looks like just pulling back from alcohol, but you can also pull back from many things. Like if you engage in cannabis or shrooms or whatever you engage in, just taking a month away from things to recenter your energy. For me, Dry January is so important. I like increase my prayers. I increase my meditation. It's also an opportunity for me to just see the world through a different perspective. So I always pray and ask God to show me what I'm not able to see with my cardinal eyes. Like help me understand the flow of energy. When I look at the sunrise or the sunset, I want to be able to see what's beyond the sun. And so this idea of Dry January serves as a period of reset. It's very interesting though, because Mardi Gras season started early this year on January 6th. And so we're really competing with the energy of Mardi Gras. But shout out to all the people in New Orleans and across the world that are holding it down for January, even though we are in the middle of carnival season.
Facts. And one thing I know to be true is the reason why you don't actually have alcoholic beverages in your business because you are a wellness lounge. And I love that. You give, again, people who are looking for that true, genuine, authentic wellness space and healing and actual processes. You have that there. You're offering it to people and people are eating it up. And I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for coming on to the Jaime Dee show. I know you do like my energy. I just really have to mess with you, but I like making you shocked because it's fun. It's fun. And I know you got your PR face on, so you hide some of your comments, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to talk offline because I know how you really feel about me, but it's okay. I know you got your family online. I know you got people watching. I know we live on the radio. It's okay.
PR face. Baby, listen, if the people that said a lot of things about Dream House, and so you have to take it, because if I had listened to everything, we would not be open. So it is very important that I continue to just be the embodiment of love. And so it's not my PR face, it's I'm just here to show up in the energy of love face.
Let me just tell you this. I can dish and take it all at the same time. I don't have this massive gift for no reason. But all right, we gotta go. Hey, before we leave, tell everybody how they can follow you and also prepare for the road for Essence Fest. Because they be coming down to the Dream House Lounge. You got customers now. I know you do.
Oh, yeah. So Dream House Lounge is located at 401 Baron Street. We are in the corner of Baron and Perdido, just a few skips away from Convention Center. If you want to follow us on social media, we are on Instagram at DH Lounge. And we are also growing our TikTok presence. And so you can look us up on TikTok at Dream House Lounge. If you ever want to check out our wellness experiences, feel free to visit our website at www.dhlounge.com. We offer a wide range of healing practices, and we look forward to welcome you to not only the great city of New Orleans, but also to our lovely wellness space known as Dream House Lounge.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. David J. Wallace. You are, like I said, still a part of the family no matter what, and you will always be my first ever live remote. Thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day. I will be seeing
my
you
virtual bills.
Yes, all right, have a good rest of your day, okay?
Bye.
All right, bye. Everybody, this has been The Jaime Dee Show, live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin and Chicagoland area. If you want to promote your business, products, services, music, and more, hit us up at info@jaimedee.com, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.